Have you ever reached a point in your career where everything looked fine on paper, yet something inside felt off? Maybe you've outgrown your role or your business no longer reflects who you are now. That moment isn't failure, it's a signal, a sign that your old story no longer fits who you are becoming. In today's episode, we will explore how to rebuild your career story from purpose, not pressure, how to realign your direction when work no longer feels right, and how to design your next platform, one that reflects who you are now. Welcome to Unbox the Podcast. I'm Sahar Palmer, intuitive life mentor, holistic therapist, helping you lead an authentic and joyful life. Over the past 3 decades, I've helped professionals, founders, and leaders realign their work and life with their true self. Because when you stop trying to fit in and start aligning with your truth, purpose becomes your compass. Why work matters. Work and career are not just about making a living. They are how we express our unique gifts or what we naturally gravitate to and eventually excel at. Our work has a higher purpose, if you like. It's how consciousness grows and expresses itself through us. When a career role changes, it shakes us deeply. We often feel lost or even broken because we've built an identity around our job title. It gives us a sense of belonging, a sense of validation, a way to introduce ourselves, and even it shapes our lifestyle and relationships. So when dissatisfaction or uncertainty appears at work, it doesn't stay at work. It touches every area of our lives. Traditionally, this affected men more visibly than women, perhaps, as their role was tied to providing and status. But that archetype has also been evolving. For women, progress has been real but uneven. I remember being part of a panel called Women of Wisdom at Curtin University here in Dubai in 2022. Each speaker on the panel represented a different decade of women's experience. A professor on the panel said something that stayed with me. At the current rate, women still need 128 years to catch up economically and professionally with men. So, how do you read the signs? When work no longer feels aligned, it isn't failure. It is feedback. The body feels it first as tension or fatigue or even overwhelm. The emotions echo it through restlessness, and the mind begins questioning what still fits. You might even question your motivation. A common reaction is, why am I even going to work? Before reacting to career change, pause and ask, what part of me has outgrown this and what still matters? This is a simple way of how you can start realigning with your purpose and start designing your next platform from clarity, not from crisis. The truth is, change is inevitable. As we grow, our perspective changes, and so do our needs and desires. And that brings us to something I often see in my mentoring practice. Let's talk about when it's time to realign. If the corporate world no longer holds space for you, maybe it's time to look outside the traditional path. I invite you to think differently. Tune into your inner compass and ask. Ask simple questions. What am I passionate about now? What expertise or experience I've aggregated that I could offer it to others my own way. Sometimes what feels like an ending is actually a doorway to the next cycle of your life. Take my client Mona, for example. She was on the board of a family business, 2 years away from retirement, feeling cornered and undervalued. She didn't want to leave early, but was deeply unhappy. Aside from her position, her instincts were creative, and her passion for business was apparent. Together, we found a creative way. We redefined her role within the organization, one that didn't trigger existing power dynamics, but allowed her to bring something new. It worked beautifully. She loved her work again and filled a gap that had been invisible before. We worked together to help her launch her own sustainable startup. It gave me immense pleasure when I drove by her shop. When people reach out to me during career transition, they often say, I feel lost. I can't see the wood from the trees. And what I really do is hold the mirror up, reflecting their journey back to them so they can intuitively reconnect with their inner compass and chart a new path, feeling empowered. The bigger picture. Mentoring leaders and professionals today often includes much more than emotional guidance. It's about understanding how technology, media, and identity intersect. Having managed my own digital platforms, written 12 books, and hosted this podcast for over 20 years, I've learned how to translate intuition into strategy. That's the space where inner clarity meets practical action. Over the last few years, I've mentored clients on launching new consultancy, rebranding existing services, or turning their expertise into an online business. The common thread? They were ready to express who they've become on their own terms. Because we can easily get lost in the noise of social media, chasing trends or content output, or defining what our personal brand is, and we forget why we started. When we return to our purpose, everything realigns: our message, our work, and our energy. If you're navigating your own career or business transition, I can help you rebuild with clarity and align with your life purpose. Please visit my website and book a discovery session with me. Together, we'll uncover what your next chapter is asking of you. Before we close, I want to leave you with something practical. A simple framework you can return to whenever work no longer feels aligned. These are 7 steps to design your next platform, a structure that supports who you're becoming. Number 1, listen to the feedback. Your body and emotions speak first. Notice tension, restlessness, or low energy. These are signals, not problems. So get in the habit of asking yourself, what feels heavy? What energizes me now? Awareness begins the real Awareness begins the realignment process. Number 2, identify what has outgrown you. Write down the parts of your current role, business, or environment that no longer reflects who you are. Then ask yourself, what still matters to me? This helps you separate what to release from what to rebuild. Number 3, clarify your new direction. Define what you want your work to express next. Not just what you want to do, but why it matters. List 3 strengths or forms of expertise you could evolve into a new service. a consultancy, a startup, a book to write, a role that reflects your current values. There could be a gap in your organization that you can create a new role for yourself. Number 4, test the new shape of your work. Before making a major shift, create a small, low risk way to try your idea. Pilot a new service with existing contacts. Test a workshop, for example, or take on a project that allows you to express your evolving role. Clarity comes through practice, not through perfection. You need to start something, and the path will open up. Number 5, build your next platform intentionally. A platform isn't a website or a brand name or a logo. It's the structure that supports your next expression, whether it's a new business, a leadership role, or a creative practice. Ask yourself, what kind of structure allows me to work authentically, sustainably, and in alignment with my core values? Number 6, stay accountable to your new story. So review your choices regularly. Each decision should support the life you're creating now, not the one you've already outgrown. Return to BEMA to find your compass: body, emotions, mind, and accountability. And finally, step number 7, honor your timing. Transition takes time. You don't need to quit everything at once. You're redesigning your life, not escaping it. Take one conscious step each week towards your next chapter. Ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take this week to express who I've become, not who I was? If you would like these steps in a printable format to guide your reflection, you can download the Design Your Next Platform worksheet from my website. The link is in the show notes. Your story doesn't end when a career chapter closes. It actually expands. And when purpose becomes your compass, you stop chasing and you start choosing. Thank you for listening to Unbox the Podcast. If today's conversation spoke to you, please follow or subscribe now on your favorite platform. And remember to visit my website to download the worksheet. You can also explore life mentoring and access free tools and ebooks to help you realign with your next chapter. Until next week, you can rewrite your story and reclaim your power.